A wonderful good morning, dear LinkedIn community. So, my guest today is Karim Hamdy, and as you listen and hear and see right now, we will be speaking in English today. So, for my international viewers and followers, this is the first time, a long time I speak in English. And so, I invited Karim. Karim is from Egypt, actually, from Cairo. Yeah, Karim, maybe you can introduce yourself to my community.
Thank you, my friend. It's my pleasure to be with you today in LinkedIn Live, and it's my pleasure to be with you all. I'm Dr. Karim Hamdy. I'm an HR expert, more than 20 years of experience in the HR in different countries, more than 12 countries. I have experience in merger and acquisition, startup in different industries. Also, I am advisory board for Lincoln University for the business schools and Cairo University for both Lincoln for faculty of commerce as business and engineering as well as board member, advisory board member. And I'm my DBA from Liverpool, University of Liverpool in UK, in preparing how to prepare future leader during change and uncertainty in developing countries. I'm here with you today to be with you to discuss in different topics related to higher education and HR and the business. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Karim, for your introduction. So let's show the community the nice pyramids. For a second, I will take us out from the picture so they can see the. So you see, I've been with Karim recently.
Yes.
Well, that's now 3 years recently.
Yes.
In front of these pyramids, and we had a nice dinner. So,
Uh-huh.
as Karim said, he's an HR, and we're talking HR today, and particularly we are talking about the educational part. So, there is one thing that Karim and I have in common, besides that we both are working in industries, the manufacturing industries. Our passion for education, our passion for qualification, and this in a, let's say, matured, graduated, and primer age. Both Karim and I, we did postgraduate studies, and he mentioned already the universities. So we know each other from Liverpool. And if you are now in your 30s, 35, let's say, and you have already gained track with your career, it's always, recommendable, advisable to probably do another postgraduate study. What do I mean by a postgraduate study? Postgraduate can be an executive study. That means you do this part time, you do this on a remote way. For example, the universities, in my case, Open and Liverpool, they both are almost 100% remote. There's always a tiny personal portion. Of course, when it comes to defending your dissertation, it has to be in person. But other than that, you can do everything remotely. And we would like to encourage you today to think about your educational future. Of course, there's a lot of training and consulting and coaching out there, but a formal academic, executive education has a lot of merits too. Yeah, and we would like to talk with you and encourage you about this today. So, Karim, my first question to you would be: how do you foresee the future of executive education? Is it changing for the future, or maybe, if some critics say it's becoming outdated? What's your stance on this?
Okay. Thank you for that. It's a nice question, and it's when you were talking about the education, especially the high educational or postgraduate education, it has been changed from the past till now, especially after the pandemic or the COVID. We change the technology and how it's become part of the education remotely, as you mentioned. Some of the postgraduate right now, you can learn or you can have your postgraduate certificate from any place, any university from any place in the world. So it's now become important, and I will share with you a story of like South Korea. when they starting focusing on the educational, especially postgraduate and undergraduate. They start last century. However, after like 40 years or 50 years, they link the educational with the business, and it's reflect on their life, economy, and the business. Now, South Korea become one of the top industries and top business in the world. So this is because the educational improvement and linking with the business. So yes, I believe the educational it's changed from time to time, and now every university or every schools are thinking to shift or to update the curriculum to match with the innovation and transformation and technology, which is become very important to match to lead the market and to be integrated with the business. This is a small brief what I'm thinking about how the future of the education and how it will cope with the economy and the business.
So, has there been a shift in your view during the pandemic? How do you view that? Has the pandemic had an impact on this?
Yes, the e-learning or distant learning. It's not from the pandemic. It's starting 10 years ago, but it not was not like this after the pandemic. After the pandemic, everything's related now to the technology. So all the universities and all the business invest in the technology to continues. So after the pandemic, the world changed. So now the educational undergraduate and postgraduate schools shift to the technology and online. And now we have IG and some schools online, totally 100%. Before we have the postgraduate only, like the master degree or MBA or DBA, it was remotely. Now they shift to the undergraduate and they shift to the schools. This is regarding the school. Also, the business. The business, some industries like if you're talking about telecom or services industries, they shift to from home remotely, not from work, because all they use technology. So I believe most of the technology it will change the business and the education after that.
Okay. So I'm seeing that we have a number of live viewers, concurrent viewers on our LinkedIn Live at this time. Thank you very much for following our LinkedIn Live today. So we would like to create a discussion with you guys. So anyone who is now joining us live is invited to discuss with us. And please feel free to write in the comments from where you are tuning in.
Sure.
And if you have any questions, yeah, or comments on what Karim and I'm saying, please put them down in the comments. This is a lively, interactive chat. And yeah, I would like to ask you, Karim, can you now welcome our Arabic community in Arabic language?
اهلا، صباح الخير واهلا بيكم معانا كلكم.
I understand cave. Yeah, it's a
Good
nice,
morning and
nice
welcome you
morning,
all.
right?
Yes, good morning and welcome all of you in Arabic.
So if even if you are answering us in Arabic language, that's great because we are also talking soon
Sure.
about
Yes.
about the region. So now we are looking at the pandemic that has a certain shift here coming. Lately, I made a video, Karim, based on some findings of a Microsoft study. They did a research, and on this research, they found out that a dangerous, yeah, and I'm now really not exaggerating, but a dangerous 41% of the workforce that means the staff and the managers and everyone included in the companies, are looking for a new job post pandemic. Now you are an HR director, yeah. So how do you feel when you hear such a number? That means that nearly every second employee becomes, possibly a loss, and you have to replace it by someone else. Uh, LinkedIn calls this, by the way, the great reshuffle. Reshuffle basically means changing places. Why?
Yes.
Because on the one side, maybe the staff is happy and satisfied with the work, but they have probably lost the relationship and the bonding to the employer during the
Employers.
pandemic, working from home, working remotely, maybe put a distance there. So there is a reshuffle. So some employers now say, please come back because you get a vaccine, come back to work. And some employees say, well, I love to be at work, but I have now organized my life in a different way, and I'm more productive working from home right now because I'm
Okay.
not operating on a machine, or I'm doing more brain work. Yeah, I'm on a phone, I'm on the email, I can easily work remotely. And some, of course, say, well, I better go to the office because then I have more peace of mind. So there are employees that are looking for the office type of work, and some are looking rather for the quiet time. So as an HR director, how are your feelings towards this, that you have to reshuffle the workforce?
Okay. Now let me start with something with the World Economic Forums that's mentioned by 2030, 65% from the current job, it will be disappeared. It will be new jobs. Will be like, as example, we don't have in the past social media specialist or social media manager. Now we have in the last 5 years or 6 years. So most of the jobs right now, with the technology, it will be changed, like tailor in the bank, cashier for some shops, for retail. It will be by technology. They will use the technology. So some jobs it will be disappeared. So we have to adapt for the new jobs and new culture. But I will be back to your questions related to the people. People after the COVID, they are not happy related the demotivation regarding the COVID and the bad economy happen in all over the world. So it's reflect on the salary, reflect on the increase, reflect on the time, depression. All of this, it's make demotivation for the employee. Working from home, some of them are happy, some of them are not happy because they missed, as you mentioned, the work environment, especially in the international company. But it's put a load for them working home, put for others load because he 24 hours access to the laptop. You don't have privacy to work sometime in the home. So all of this is make people unhappy. We might be part of the solution because it's not the same for in each industry. So you have to think about your employee to make rotation. As example, not all of people come in the workplace. Some of them come every week or day by day. Is depend from industry to another. As example, manufacturers, we cannot make people take working from home. It's a process, and it should it have to be 24 hours people working in the plant. So some industry will accept people to work from home. Others don't have this variety. But as HR, we have to think for the employee motivational, not only for their career, for benefits as direct benefits and salaries and other benefits. We have to think about how to make have communication together, have meetings good together, and to make communication inside the organization. The challenge, I believe, in most of the organization in the next years, coming years, it will be the communication. How to make the communication inside the organization clear and make your people integrated, because even if they are in different places, we have multinational company like I can mention Vodafone, or can mention ExxonMobil, or BP. All of these companies, big companies. However, they have different location, and they have the system to make people motivate. Microsoft as well, Google. All of this make people, how to make them motivation. But again, it's service industries, and and international. They pay a lot and invest a lot for that, and it will return on people, of course. It change. It's different when you are talking about local company or international company on or regional company. The culture is different. The process is different. So this is we have to think on the communication in future inside the organization.
Yeah, our topic is actually education. So I will come back to the education because everything is linked with everything to each other. And we are currently in a situation that is challenging for most firms, of course. So do you see a danger? That is a spontaneous question that comes up in my mind. Do you see in future possibly a risk that an employee that says, I have to go to the company because I'm working in the process? Yeah, this could be the operator of the machine, but this could be also someone who is programming the machine. So he has to be there, unless maybe you have industry 4.0 and he can do this from home. Maybe you can touch also on that one. What is the necessity of really having people in the company in times of industry 4.0? Do you see anything coming up? But most importantly, is there a risk that there is an imbalance inside the people that say, well, I have to go to the company, but he can stay at home and he can work from home? How do you manage this?
Again, is different from industry to another. And here, as example, in the Middle East, we don't have the culture yet of making people, or luxury to make people, the local company to make people working from home or to select, because most of the company are paying and they select people for especially business to do it. So they don't have the luxury to make people working from home, and they don't have the technology as well, the investment in the technology. But big company or international company, local or international, they have that luxury, and they can make the system. They can adapt for people on that. And again, we are talking about talent people, talent employees, or normal normal employees. It depends. When you have talent people, you can break up the rules and make exception for them because they achieve objective and achieve work. However, for all the employee in the local market and in the Middle East here, it's I believe it is not an easy to apply. And I have I have my colleagues in Europe as well. They don't have much luxury to make all the employee happy, because you have a system in the same sometime you do a policy or a system, it will not be suitable for all the employee. Some of them will be happy with that and applicable for them, and the other it will be a problem. So we have to think about which industry you're going to apply that.
And this is basically what is meant by the reshuffle. Yeah, it will be reshuffled. Some are happy in that role, and some are happy in that role. So probably there will be an exchange of the preferences, also of the labor force. Yeah, not everyone wants to in the office, back in the office. Not everyone wants to work alone at home. I mean, I work from home in my home office, but there is a time where I say, okay, now is enough at home. I need to go, to an exhibition or to visit a customer and talk with him face to face, or being on events. and that is the beauty of, if you can organize the work in a more relaxed way. So let's
Let me
go
add
back.
something.
Yeah,
Let me add something, sorry, additional to that,
yeah,
because I got it from the point. Uh, we can easily, one of my research and posters that I just make in a conference, it was a study that if you are thinking to make your employee make rotation from time to time, just to be from department or from the title to another, because you can start easily in the accounting, and after a while you can shift to the HR, and after 20 years of your experience, you can go for the marketing or other department. This study, 10% or 20% from them we can adapt for change, and they can accept the change of from shifting from department to another. So this is a good approach. It will be useful if some organization adapt or applies that in the organization. But it depends on the people and how they can be flexible to adapt on the change on that.
yeah, of course. Job rotation, change management, very important points here. And that brings me now to our discussion back on education. Now, having
Yeah.
these challenges coming up in the labor force and in the new normal, as they say, how does executive education prepare future managers or even current managers for this, situation? I mean, the situation is now not so long. It's fortunately only 1 year. I mean, we had quite fast the vaccination available. um, I don't know how about Egypt, but in Germany already 75% of the people that can be vaccinated are vaccinated. And yeah, how is it in Egypt? Is it similar or?
We started the process of vaccination for in the Egypt. However, it's not. I don't have a fixed number, but I believe now 25% or 30 it will become by the end of the year it will be vaccinated, and
Okay.
now we are in the process of vaccinated. So it's working well here in Egypt.
Okay, so it's accepted, yeah. So
Yes.
now we have only 1 year in this situation, and does the curriculums already, consider this exceptional situation and give the future managers or current managers academic research, enough research, so that managers can deal with this situation successfully?
I'm happy that I'm advisory board in different universities, as I mentioned, and I'm helping other universities, especially for reviewing the curriculum and how to link the curriculum, especially for the postgraduate, for the master executive programs and DBA, for how to link this program to with the business. So I'm in different committees in Egypt and in UK and in the region, helping universities to review some curriculum. I'm happy that during the last couple of years, 3 years before the COVID and after the COVID, the universities are working to enhance the curriculum and to integrate it with the technology and with the change happen. And I will give you another insights as also the undergraduate. Sorry, as undergraduate. Now, most of the universities, international universities, are looking to for the curriculum and the system to upgrade it and to enhance it. As example, now in the undergraduate, some topics like innovation and entrepreneurship courses are given to the undergraduate schools. Yes, the universities, for especially for the higher education, are quite working to enhance the curriculum, the program, and trying to link with technology and the business. It will be during the coming 5 years, I believe some of universities will be running very well and top and exist, and others will be obsolete, not obsolete. It will be out of out of the market regarding the demand of the employee on the practice or the action program, not the academic one. So now all the higher education are trying to make case study, real case study, making action learning in their curriculum and material.
So it's interesting you say, as an industrial HR person, you are advising and checking curriculums, as far as I understood. What is the benefit of involving the industry together with the academic world?
Because I have both sides. I have my DBA from Liverpool, so I know how the academic part and the research part is important and how to apply. At the same time, I have the experience of the business area and the background industry is looking for. So I'm combining between them, and I'm trying to link one of my passion to link them together to reflect on the market and the industries, because it will help us to find suitable talent and to find to develop people in the region.
Mhm. Okay, so most of the students, my impression is they are looking for the best fit for the future, and the best job opportunity and the best job profile of the future. How do you rate the future work in comparison to what is available today? How are students, behaving these days? Are they looking for the dream job and ignoring current available jobs?
Okay. My this is a question that most of the people I'm asking me in different conferences, and some by email and some by on LinkedIn, that questions. Now, as I mentioned, the market it will be changed. It's going to be changed in the future, and some job it will not be available. So my tips for them, for the student right now, or the new employee, to be prepared for the market, to have soft skills and flexibility, and to the learning curve. It's not in it will not stop in the education in the university. It's a continue process. So they have to learn themselves. You have right now many online free courses online, as example on LinkedIn, Coursera, different software or different applications. They have training available for anyone. Some of them are free, and some was with fees. You have to learn to make people to make students learning not the academic part. They have to learn more different courses. They have to have different work on their competencies. They have to assess themselves. There's different assessment tools in the market right now. They have to assess themselves to see if they can fit for that this position and that work or no. Because in the beginning, most of the students, okay, they want to work as HR or finance, but they don't see themselves. They have to assess themselves. They can fit for that or no. I can tell you my previous experience. I was in the beginning as accountant. Then I shift to PR and communication. Then I shift to the HR. So now that shift, it's cost me, yes, sometime salary, sometime titles. But however, I learned, and I link all of this together in my managerial now position. I have experience of how for numbers, and I have experience for communications and PR, and I have to deal with people and the HR and the process and to management. So now you in the beginning, students are targeting job. but not this job. You can continue with it. It can be shift or can be changed in the future. So you have to be flexible and be prepared to select other job and to take that point and to see you can fit on that or not. Make that shift, but make it with study as assessment and check yourself that you are be prepared to take that step because it's not an easy. It's coming from you because you are the only person you can assess yourself and you can put a target and you can work on it.
So we are getting in a question from Dia Ali Haddad.
Hello, yeah.
Hello, Dr.
Yes.
Karim and Ilkay. My question to Dr. Karim is, to which extent do you think that the higher education programs have an influence on the business performance in the real life, and what conditions that help to get the most out of these programs in a practical way? Very good question. Can you maybe make some comments on this one?
Okay, thank you, Dia. Okay, the first one is okay. The higher education, of course, it will have if it's good because we have to differentiate between two things. We have traditional education, education traditional, which is academic, not related to the business. So it's not reflect on the performance. So we have when we select higher education or select specialized like master or executive program, you have to select the best university and or not, but the one of the top university and program. Make sure that it is suitable for and reflect on the business. If you have select a good higher educational courses or higher educational certificate, it will reflect differently on the business performance. If you select a normal or traditional courses, it will not reflect on the business. I can give you an example with most of the people have a master degree or MBA right now, but not all of them are good managers and can manage good or can manage easily. Most of the HR have HR certificate or diploma, but not all of them have reflect that on the business itself. So if we have a good one, a good courses by action, by it's not academic, pure academic. It will be it will reflect on the business side and business performance. So that's why we have to select the academic one, and we have to select which course it would suit you on your organization performance.
Okay, wonderful. So while Dia is coming out of the region, I've prepared a snapshot here.
Okay.
So you see
Oh,
you and myself. What is this? What is this place called
this
again?
is Marriott Oberoi in Haram. It's in
Yeah.
this. It's near some Haram pyramids. It's in front of the pyramids. So we have, I believe, we have here after your tour, we have here lunch together. Uh,
Yes, that's right. So
that's it.
tell me about the history of this place. This is a very historic place, no?
Yes, it's one of the historical place. It was Oberoi Mina House before, then it's shifted to Marriott Hotel right now. It's one of the old hotel and the luxurious one, and it's in front of the pyramids, and it's have a lot of memories and a lot of stars, movie stars, and a lot of events happening there. Leo Messi, one of the top football. We have an event there before, and he went there before. So we have a lot of stars and people are went there. So I
So
like that.
this is really my recommendation. This is the place to go for if you want to have a dinner in front of the pyramids. It's a bit pricey though, but it's a nice view and it's a nice
It's nice.
nice place.
Yes, yes,
So you know, because we are here internationally, we are also ambassadors of all these countries, and I want to
yes.
make sure that each of my country participants have
Of
the
course,
chance to show their beautifulness of their country.
sure.
Okay, back to the topic. Let's turn now with these pyramids to the region. Let's talk about not functional, the HR and the education. Let's talk about the Middle East, North Africa region. Would you say that Egypt is North Africa, or is Egypt Middle East, or is it both?
It both.
It's both, right? You are
Both.
actually just in the middle of the
We are
North
in the
African and the Middle East countries,
Middle East
right?
and in Africa. So we are in North Africa. So we are in both.
Yes, yes, wonderful. Yeah. So how do you see the talent market in the Middle East right now? I mean, coming from a pandemic, I can tell you here in Europe, my personal view was there will be loads of talents available in the pandemic, because Germany went steep down in order intake in March 2020, on the 13th or 16th of March, when the lockdown came for the first 2, 3, 4 weeks. Then it was extended and extended, and we know all this story. Order intake, production in the industry went down, and all the companies went into what we call Kurzarbeit, short work. And I was expecting there will be a massive, release of talent on the market, and there will be soon a lot of talents available. Fast forward 1 year later, today, the situation is not any better. Talents are still short on the market, and that still makes me wonder why that is. But before we come to that, why? How is the situation right now in the Middle East?
Okay. We have before, give me, I will share with you something before the pandemic.
Sure.
We had the revolution in the Middle East in different countries before. We have in Egypt, we have in Tunisia, we have in Syria, we have different countries. So we have a
Actually,
pandemic we have as a pandemic.
actually, when I hear the police outside from your window, I think something's going on right now. Sometimes I
No, no,
hear the
no,
police
no, no,
coming
it's
as
safe.
passing by.
No, 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 it's safe right now. It's
It's
now
safe. Okay.
it's safe, very safe. So it's we have before the pandemic we have other pandemic, the revolutions. The revolution it's reflect on the business and industry and the region as well, because we are now in one world. So it's the region here. It's a small world. We different people are working from here in the Gulf, and different people from the Gulf working in Egypt and from Europe. So it's now the first challenge was the revolution. And now it's after the stability of the economy, and the economy and the country stable. Most of the countries are stable right now. Is starting to move. We had another problem, the pandemic or the COVID. So it's become slowed down again in the most of the company and most of the countries. Of course, it reflects globally over the world. So when I'm talking about the Middle East and in North Africa, because my most of the experience in that part, it's reflects on the business, and it reflects on the people. Now it will not be saturated till I believe it will take every pandemic or every something happen in the country. It will take at least 3 to 5 years to recover what's happened. As example, the financial crisis in 2008, when it's happened, it will take 2 3 years to you come back to normal place. When we have the revolution in different countries in Egypt, it will take at least 8 years to 10 years to recovery from that. So the pandemic, it's global one. It's not only in the Middle East and Africa or Europe. It will affect all the world. So it will take, I believe, it will take 3 to 5 years to recover back to become to 2020 economy and stability again. But I believe this year it's much better than 2020, and I believe next year it will be much better progress. The people are saturated. We have a lot of people without work, are talent. Some companies decrease the salary of the employees, and cut cost of some benefits to continue, because they have to continue on that. But I believe now what's happening here in Egypt and in the Gulf specifically, they the economy and the government are trying to help the companies and to help people on that part, especially the startup companies, the SMEs, all of the small business. They are trying to help them to to continue, because if you are sometimes you don't have the financial part to continue on that. So
Mhm.
I believe it will take another year to 2 years maximum to be out of the problem of the economy, and to have again jobs for the talent, and to market open again to travel or to work remotely, because now sometimes you can work remotely from home right now. So it will take time, and it will change the thinking or the way of work and the pay. It will again now some companies right now work thinking to work to make their salary per hour per job. It's yes, it's in Europe, but in the Middle East, it's not per hour. It's working per per goal or objective, or per month. It depends, or per week. It depends. But we have to think about some jobs you can do it per hour, and how you can they achieve something per hour. It's something new, because we have a lot of talent people come back. They are coming back from Europe, coming from the Gulf area in Egypt right now. So it will
Mhm.
be you have to we have to think about how to use them. But I believe after 1 year from now, it will be much better economy, and the situation, it will be uh, totally shift to be saturated.
Yeah, I remember I was, as you know, extensively traveling into the GCC, Gulf Country Council countries like Emirates, Bahrain, and Qatar. And they always would say to me, "We have the best engineers from Egypt." And I was thinking, "Wow, you got the engineers from Egypt that made the pyramids, yeah." Um,
Yes.
and now you're saying these engineers are coming back, these talents from these countries, or
Not all of them.
mm,
Not all of them. We have a percentage, of course. Not all engineering. We have doctors, we have accountings people, we have
yeah,
developers. So all of this, and it's reflect not only in the engineering, it will reflect on across business jobs. So it's
high skilled jobs.
high skills, yes. And when you are want to make cost cutting, you are looking for the high positions. You can bring them out and to take the second line, and to take him as first line as cost cutting.
Yeah.
This is one something happened in the Gulf as example. But again, some companies have the financial capability to continue and to invest on that during the crisis and during the loss, and they can wait for 1 year or 2 years and invest on that. And others are small. The SMEs are the problem right now, because they don't have
Mm.
the financial burden. It's burden for them, so they cannot uh, continue without having the money and the continue of the business. So it depends. So that's why most of the governments are looking for the SMEs, because it will be, I believe, it's the future. If you have in US as example, every year you have more than 5,000 startup and SMEs, more than 5,000,
Wow.
and more than 2,500 SMEs closed company. So
Mm.
this number depend regarding the change and the business, because some people are can adapt and continue with the financial crisis, and some of them cannot continue. They don't have the financial capability of that. So
Okay.
again, for the
Mhm.
government, that we have to support the SMEs, because it will be the future of any country for economy. We have a success stories here in Egypt, like a swivel company. It's one of the company like Uber, and it's from I believe is starting 6 years or 7 years. However, now they're becoming in. They have acquired by an Emirates company, and they are becoming a big company right now with more than billion Egyptian pound. So it's now startup, and it was small company, and it's again the future for the SMEs, how to start small and you can go for big or to be acquired from a big company. We have a different success story on that. I believe startup and SMEs, we have to support them and to have to fight to continue on the approach.
Okay, so an Egyptian unicorn, so to say. So let's go back to our viewers. Ute is greeting from Germany, and she says cooperation and communications are most important in companies. What do you say about the measurability of further trainings, measurability of the results, she says?
Again, could you repeat because your voice? I have a problem in that. Could you repeat the question, please? Again,
Yeah,
sorry.
the question is, what do you say about the measurability of further trainings, the measurability of results?
Okay. In the company, if we are thinking about the measurement of future training, it will be again related. Some company link that with the performance, the company performance and his performance, and it will be some company can integrate that result with the company performance. Other link it with the career progress or career development. So we have to link it between my point of view. We have to link it with two things. With he cannot any employee cannot be promoted without passing different courses or different criteria and get the result and assess on that. The other thing is to his objective and the company objective, how it's be helping the training with the performance, his performance, and the company performance. So we have to put the methodology to all the measurement to link the training with his performance and his career performance. This is a small answer, but for if you want more details or more discussion on that, please let's talk about that. We can have a lot of talk on LinkedIn or my email. I can share it with you after that to best.
Okay, so I have two more questions for you. The first one is, now coming from an HR function, so what can you do as HR to prepare the future, the leader for the future?
It's always the question for in the top organization and the national organization for the HR, and the topic of succession plan and how to prepare future leader. Again, I did a research before, and I will share it with you. And if anyone interested on that, I can share it with them. How to prepare future leader? It's not an HR role itself only. It's involvement or support, empowerment by top management. This is number one. To have the empowerment, and they have to support that, and they have to ask for that. Then HR will check the suitable strategy and way to make to check the assess internal people and to put a short-term plan and long-term plan depends on the duration of the needs of preparing the future leader. But this is part of it. It's all people know that. But however, let me tell you something real or something you need. Anyone want to apply that as HR want to apply that in the organization. You will some position you don't have people fit for leadership in that position inside the organization. And most of the HR or the management are making an easy part. Okay, we're going to hire someone from outside and take that role. This is the easy part, but the hard part is it will take take a long, and it is very useful to check the people inside the organization and to prepare them by empowering them, giving them authority, making a clear communication, a clear plan with rules. If you succeed for that, to achieve that, you're going to be promoted on that part by giving him authority, real responsibility, and to be clear with him. The problem is the communication again. We don't have in the local company and the international company, we don't have a clear way of communication. Sometimes the politics part in the organization play a role and play uh, play way to select other people not capable for that. But we have to make a way through assessment again, number one, through committee, through communication and empowerment. Again, I believe we have three type of C of okay. If you want to communicate, this is number one, to have communication, clear communication. You have to have after the communication, you have to empowerment by top management. This is the solution that I can advise for anyone as HR want to start that model. And I can you can share with me. I can share with them the three C model of how to prepare future leader. And the model, my model is made it. It's one of the research that I applied for how to apply future, how to prepare future and develop future leader, which is will be next year a book that I'm going to publish for Medit for how to prepare and develop future leader. I can share some insight from it in my LinkedIn during the next during couple of months. And I will can anyone want to discuss or to have more insight of that, I'm happy to be with you on that.
Okay. You mentioned, you gave me an inspiration to ask you further. Now, you want to develop leaders in your company, yeah, or in any company as an advisor. So you said some leaders are not fit for the job or for the requirement,
Or not ready, or make it.
or not ready yet. Yeah. So what are you looking as a board member from a leader that is working in the middle management, and what are you looking from a leader that is working in the top management? Can you break this down for us, please?
Okay, it's again, it's competence. We call it competencies. We have to check the company of managerial middle management and the competence of top management. It depends from a company to another to define the competencies need for each level. So my point of view as HR, when I'm talking about top management, is the leadership as competency, strategic thinking, the influence and communication. It's the most one of the things is strategic thinking, and the flexibility. This is the main, I believe, the main four or C competencies needed for any leadership or any top management that can lead company or can lead his division. If we are talking about middle management, the main competency is coping with pressure and to make planning and organizing well, and to decision making. This is the middle management. However, in the top management, now we have to be mature, so to for another competencies and another leader position on the as competency framework for that. Again, it's supposed to be competency for each company, depend on the organization and the business, so they can select competencies and they can measure people on that and to develop them to to fit for and to fulfill the second line and future leader for any organization.
Now, I assume you make a lot of interviews with candidates, don't you? A lot, yeah.
A lot.
Now, let's take an example. So, you are the interviewer, and you have a 30-year-old graduate who has already 5 years of experience, and you are looking to fill in a middle management leadership role. So, what would be a typical question to find out if he's a good decision maker? And what would you advise the candidate how to tackle this question? Let's make it practical now for our community.
Look, my technique in the interview, it's not questions. I'm trying to making a conversations more than questions to discover two things: personality. This is most important for me, his personality or her personality, because when I'm hiring someone, I'm looking for personality and more than his skills, because the skills we can develop, but the personality is something it will be not easy to change. So this is number one that I'm talking about for any interview. I'm going for my technique is okay, like chatting and give me about your thought. What you give me an as example a case or a problem with your organization, old organization, or were your friends, and you take decisions. Tell me your story or tell me something happened, not a question. So from his story that's happened, okay, that I can share with me your a story of something you did and you are happy that you can share it to as milestones from your work, or a decision making you are happy you are take it in the past, and it reflect on your business. So from this story, I can go deeper and I can ask different questions on that. But I'm not like the HR, other HR people. I'm looking for direct questions, direct to making people under stress. No, I don't want you under stress. I know quite well when people are coming for interview, most of them are under stress, are not be prepared, and they have some people are preparing questions and preparing answers for that, and there are some as a question for HR. What do you think about you are in the next 5 years? This is typical questions. That's what's your dream after 5 years? Okay, most of the people are what that question. I don't. I want to work this year right now. We are checking only he's thinking, he's having a plan, or he's having a dream or something. This is one we want to see his character, his personality, not because if you don't have a dream or objective or goals in your career, so you are not. This is part of the leaders or part of the manager, part of how to think different or to think about yourself or personality. But if you want to go live, okay, tell me story about your something achieve about a decision you take in your organization or with your friend, and it's make change, or you are proud to take that decision. So this is
Yeah.
basically what that.
I love your approach, because there is not only now you checking the personality in terms of the decision making skills, but at the same time you are seeing the communication skills. Is he able to communicate
Exactly.
concisely, precisely, in a comprehensive way that is understandable for the
Yes, of
staff
course,
that he will be working with you in the
of
future?
course.
you are at the same time able now to evaluate his storytelling skills.
Yes.
Storytelling is very, very important in the future.
And yes, and teamwork, communication, all of this, it will be something you can measure during the interview.
Yeah,
Something it's not, you can discover it sometime in the assessment,
yeah,
but again, face to face, and to make not standard questions, or not planned questions, but making him going from discussion, normal discussion, from a point to another. You're going to discover, or you're going to tackle different area. He he's not clear for you. So
yeah.
again, this is why you have to be assessor, or you have to be an HR expert to have this experience to check it.
I think one of your positive traits here, and what helps you tremendously, is that you are coming from a marketing PR role previously. Yeah, you had been in accounting before, and then moved to marketing PR, and then to HR. So
Yes.
storytelling is in your genes. Yeah, also
Yeah, I
in
start
your
before the accounting.
DNA.
I start before the accounting a private business. So
Private
I was
business. Okay.
coming from the private business to accounting, because I left the private business, and I shift because I have to learn in the beginning, to after that to continue in as a private business. I'm always now founder, and I'm supporting the startup for different companies in the region, in UK and in Dubai and Egypt. So my passion is to be with the people, and to have like support for them. And yes, the PR and the accounting give me, of course, and another edge. For the HR, different way, I'm thinking different way, and I'm looking from a perspective of a businessman, or sometimes PR or communication in the HR. So it's something that I have. I believe one of my competency. It's helping in my field. It's is that the communication or marketing, of course.
Wonderful connected. Yeah, wonderfully connected. So to recap the this last point, the advice to candidates would be: prepare yourself for compelling stories, yeah, from the
Yes.
past. Of course, don't construct them, but they should be authentic, and they should be real experiences you made, and how you tackled
Yes. Even if it's in
a
your
job,
normal life,
even
if
if
not,
it's from the normal
yeah,
life,
yes,
from your
because we have,
hobbies.
yes,
Yeah, that helps tremendously to give the interviewer a better picture of your personality, as Karim says, but also the skills that he's looking for. Wonderful. Okay, Karim, we have completed already an hour,
oh,
and I could go on
wow,
and on and on. I think I prepared many more questions, but we will do probably a second LinkedIn live.
it's always my
So
pleasure.
always your pleasure. So thanks for your support, dear viewers. If you
Thank you
have
all.
tuned in at a later stage of this LinkedIn live, you will be able to watch it again on the replay just after we finished our live here. Have a look at it. We discussed today higher education, and this LinkedIn live is particularly suitable if you are in the middle age, like 30 years old. You are experienced already, and you want to take the next step in your career. You want to consider executive education, like Karim and I did in our career, to progress our careers. So we have been talking about our experiences. We have given you some practical advice. Just watch it once again. Please leave a reaction and a comment so that others can also view this LinkedIn live and get the gist out of it. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karim, for
Thank you
tuning in
all.
from Egypt. My best
Thank
regards
you.
to Egypt, and I hope to
I
see you soon again in the
hope so.
region. Bye
Hope
bye.
so. Bye bye.